I feel like that's gonna not heighten that anxiety as much as seeing a warm-up of like 6 problems. So just a great way to start the class, or if you have block periods, or if you teach for math for a really long time, a great way to break it up in the middle. All right, so here is our third structure to boost confidence and decrease math anxiety. And this one is notice and wonder. And this is a popular strategy. A lot of textbooks, if any of you are using illustrative math or open up resources, or there's a lot of notice and wonders happening. But I have a literal picture of a soapbox on here because I'm gonna have a little soapbox moment in a moment about how the printed curriculum are kind of not doing it in the best way, and how just a simple tweak can make it a little bit better, actually less prep for you. So we're gonna talk about that one because it's such a powerful strategy. Oh yeah, I did. Oh, now we've done one of each. Let's see, you want notice and wonder, we're gonna get the applausometer out. Applausometer, notice and wonder for elementary. Clap it up. Applausometer for secondary. Oh my gosh, it feels like a tie. I'm gonna default to my comfort, which is secondary. I use this meme so many times. Go ahead and read that one to yourself. Right? How many of us, our kids feel like this? Sometimes I feel like this when I'm reading a word problem. Clearly the answer is purple because aliens don't wear hats. Like, none of it seems to make sense. And how many of us are starting to adopt a curriculum, or our administration has asked us to use a curriculum that is very inquiry-based, that is very task-based. I see snaps, right? And so, my goodness, this is how my kids feel about word problems. Now you're giving me a curriculum that is entirely word problems. What am I supposed to do? And so for you, if you are at all resonating with that, the notice and wonder, how I'm gonna show you right now, is my favorite way to talk about word problems or introduce tasks to my students who are struggling with word problems, which is like every student I've ever had. So this works really well with images, with graphs, with prompts, with tasks. There's something specific I'm gonna show you to do. As a warm-up, you might wanna ask kids, what are 3 things you notice, and what are 3 things you wonder? And then you can take roll and you can do what you need to do, but your warm-up is just 3 things you notice or know, and 3 things you wonder about the graph, the picture, whatever that we've given you. Also, when I was at Nate's school doing some guest lessons on Thursday, I did a notice and wonder in his colleagues class. And at the end of the period, he was reflecting on what did he notice about my model lesson that he wants to take to his classroom. And he said, I loved the notice and wonder. It got my kids so interested in what you were gonna talk about. And so it is such a powerful, powerful structure. We're gonna go secondary, here we go. So, here is our prompt. We're going straight into math. You could do a picture. This is a great one to do like right after a break or a long weekend and you did something fun and you wanna like share a picture of your life with your kids and build that community. You could put a picture up from your weekend and you could say, what do you notice? What do you wonder? That would be a really fun way to launch this. Or maybe once a week you ask the kids to bring in a picture of themselves and share some, like they can have a picture that the whole class gets to ask, what do you notice? What do you wonder? So here's our math one though. You are in charge of buying the chips and soda for a party. You have $55 to spend. The chips cost $9 per bag, and the soda costs $2 for a 2-liter bottle. You want to buy 17 items. So this is just, pulled out of a textbook. Is there a question? No. So that is where I feel like the textbooks get it wrong, because it's like this printed thing, and then the question is there, and then you're not even done reading it, and one kid is like, Miss, the answer is 7. The answer is 7. And we're like, well, you just ruined it for everyone. Like, now everyone else feels dumb because you know the answer and no one else knows the answer. So this is very strategic. I have removed the question. So that kid that gets it can't go ahead and start doing all the math and making everyone else feel stupid. And the kid who doesn't get it doesn't feel overwhelmed about why are all these kids doing math and I don't know what to do because I don't even understand the problem. And so it keeps everyone on the same playing field. And that's what I love about removing the question, which is what textbooks don't do, right? Because it's pre-printed. So I want you to think about this one. Let's just go into chatting with each other. List out a couple of things that you know. I like to use know. You could use notice. What are 3 things you know and 3 things you wonder about this prompt? Coming back in 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So in a classroom, I would have a T-chart, know or notice, and wonder. And I like to ask all the knows first because that's kind of like the more serious part. I want to make sure that they get that. And then usually the kids have so much fun with the wonders and it's like the class clown's time to shine. It gets really fun. So let's list out 3 or 4 things that we know. What do we know about this prompt? We know our budget. We know we have $55 to spend. So I'd be writing $55 to spend, right? 55. Yep, 55 to spend.
Cost per item.
We know the cost per item. So I would encourage the students to say, what are the costs and what are the items? What are they? Just so I can pretend. $9 per chips and $2 per soda. What else do we know? Yeah.
I know that I'm going to have to use some kind of math skill like multiplication, division, or addition.
I know I'm going to have to use a math skill. We got one more piece of this puzzle that we haven't mentioned in what we know. We need to buy 17 items, right? So I'd be scribing all those things, just making sure. How many times have you read that prompt to figure out what you know? Have you read that a few times? Right? I've read that a few times. How many times do we pass out a word problem to our students? They don't even look at it. They immediately raise their hand and they're like, "Miss, I don't know what this is asking me to do." And you say, "Did you read it?" And they're like, "Nah, miss, nah." And I'm like, "Okay, well, let's start with reading it. That would be a good first step." And so if we do this as a class, I know they've read the problem because you've reread this multiple times. And so that this is just like mind-blowing to me that they actually read the word problem. That's like 3/4 of the battle. Okay, and then we can talk about what we wonder. So what do we wonder? Yeah.
I wonder if I have money left over, do I get to keep it?
Ooh, if I have money left over, do I get to keep it? Mm-hmm. Yeah?
I wonder how many people are going to be at the party.
How many people are going to be at this party? Yeah.
We were thinking, what is the reason for the party and why are the chips so expensive?
What is the reason for the party and why are these chips so expensive? I've given this exact one to my kids. You know what they said? "Miss, where are you shopping at? Those chips are expensive. You shopping at Costco? What you doing, miss?" Yeah.
Why is the soda so cheap?
Why is the soda so cheap? Again, where are you shopping? You shopping at Walmart now? Where are you going? You going to 2 stores? Where are you going?
If we're buying pop at 2 liters, what size are the cups, so I know how many liters go per cup? No. And how many cups per if you have, say there's 2 cups.
Yes, I'm tracking.
Each cup has 8 ounces, how many cups is 1 2-liter bottle going to fill?
How many cups is 1 2-liter bottle going to fill? I love that. Let's see, we got one in the back. Yeah? Yeah.
Does that $2 and $9 include tax?
Does that $2 and $9 include tax? Yep.
I was wondering if there are 17 people.
Are there 17 people? Like, does everyone get, one person gets a chip, one person gets a soda? Yeah. Why? Why 17 items? Why? Yes.
Who else can I get to play this party because I hate planning parties?
Yes. Who else? Can I hire a party planner? All right, last one.
I wonder how many people will eat chips, and I wonder how many people will drink the soda.
Yes, I wonder how many people will eat the chips and drink the soda. And then like we had a lot of really good fun wonderings, and this is like where kids will take it too. Sometimes you have to like rein it in a little bit. If this were your math textbook, what do you think the question will be? Anyone want to take a guess at that? If this were your math textbook, what would the question be?
How many of each item are you buying?
How many of each item are you buying? And you started solving it. How did you set it up? I'm just going to throw you out there.
System of equations.
Systems
I
of
did,
equations.
C is chips and S is soda.
Oh.
And so C plus S equals.
Oh, you're getting way ahead of us. We're assuming systems of equations here. I love it. Yeah, no, I love it, right? That's the next part. So our kids are gonna be so much more bought in. Like the question about tax, oh my gosh, they've read the problem. Like, yeah, it's a funny comment, right? Like, they're thinking about tax. But I know, oh my gosh, they've read the problem. Like that is an on-task question about this word problem. And that's huge, right? Even though it's funny, I know that they've read it. That class clown has actually read the problem, which is huge, right? Or they're like, where are you shopping at, man? I'm like, you have read the problem. You understand we are talking about chips and soda for a party. And I am so happy about that because usually we don't understand the context at all. So then this was the question. Write a system of equations to describe this event. And then, solve. It could also be solve for the number of chips and solve for the number of sodas. So these are, some of the facilitation tips. Same like I was talking about, make sure you're scribing everything the kids say they know and scribing everything they say they wonder, because that's where you are valuing different ways students are thinking and reasoning. They're thinking about that task that you've given them, and we want to validate that, and we really want to help with that. So especially scribe the funny ones that you see. And key idea is that it's a game changer for ensuring students understand the context and information within a word problem or task before they're given the question to solve, right? That is like the key takeaway that I really want to hit home before we give them the question. Because if we just pass out our curriculum workbooks and it has a printed notice and wonder in there, guess what? The question is also printed there. And that kills this activity. Because if the question's already there, the kids who get it are gonna go ahead. The kids who don't get it are gonna feel left behind. And so we have to remove that question. So literally it's just don't pass out the workbooks yet, or don't pass out your copy yet. Give a blank piece of paper and just put it on your screen without the question, right?